J.A.N.G, what's up? A1 Black, what's happening? Dre, where you at? Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome you into Skool in the G.A.N.G, Barbershop podcast that's doing something familiar like it's never been done. We're providing the audience, the people that grace our set, with the opportunity to have conversations that we have in the barbershop consistently. You know, we have conversations on a day that might range to the most in-depth and most intense conversations to the most mundane and asinine conversation that you'll ever have. But one thing we try and uphold with the barbershop is this is the black man's country club. This is the last place that a black man can truly come and be black as he wants to be. So many brothers and sisters have to be corporate in their lines and profession. But you can come here and you can be as truthfully authentic as you want to be here in the barbershop, or you can tell as many lies as you want to. Either way, we're going to entertain. And that's just what we're here to do today. Allow me to introduce, I feel we've been blessed to have a special guest today that God blessed us with. I'm going to say that, God blessed us with. And this is an industry professional that has graced all of our movie screens and our television screens. I'm also very privileged to say that this young man is from my hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana. He's been in some of the best movies that we've seen within the last decade. He's been in Straight Outta Compton. He's been in Superfly. He's been in Mudbound. This dude knows what he's doing, and he always represented put on for the 504. And that's Mr. Jason Mitchell.
Oh, yes, he is. I'm over here like that. Me? Nah, thank y'all for having me, man, for sure.
For sure, my brother.
Yeah,
it's an honor to have you here with us. Allow me to introduce to the world this wonderful cast of human beings that I have with me.
You did. You did.
Sitting next to Mr. Mitchell is our wonderful, wonderful queen of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
That's Miss Maya Renee. She is AKA the Scarlet Butterfly. Next to Miss Maya, man, I got somebody for y'all. This is another one of my compadres from my hometown of New Orleans, and he actually from my neighborhood. This is Mr. Cedric Mitchell, AKA the Blind Sensation.
Yeah.
All my friends call me saying something, call me C-Rock. Whatever way you want to bring it, baby, we can do it. Because you know what? 504 is definitely in the building, right? Let's do what we do.
Down on the end down here. This is one of my long time, and one of my show nuffs. From East Garland, Texas, this is my partner, my show nuff partner, Cadillac Red, AKA Pimpin' Ain't No Illusion.
He got that good help. Oh, yes, indeed.
Next to Cadillac is my main man. This is the dude I come to work with, come to battle with day after day. Solid dude, solid father, man, one of the best dudes I know. And also a guy I can bounce creative ideas off of, and I appreciate that with. This is Mr. Travis Pearson, AKA Barber T-Rock.
Yeah.
AKA the Cigar Man.
Yes, sir.
And allow me to introduce myself. My name is Michael Hamilton, AKA I'm Big Mike the Barber. I've been a barber for 29 years. I've worked in the city of Garland, and I'm here in West Plano now. But this profession has provided me with the opportunity to take care of my family and raise my kids. So I hold a strong affinity for being a barber. I understand that it's not a hustle. It's a truly a passion. But I also go by the name of Magnificent Styles. That's my industry name. And I am Skool. Skool. We are Skool in the G.A.N.G, and I am Skool.
Yeah.
Skool stands for Schooling Kings Out of Love. This was a God-given idea during the pandemic when we had the quarantine. This idea for a clothing line came to me. Skool was the name that popped into my head. And I said, I like that. Now, why Skool? And it automatically just came. You know, in the black community, school is a derivative of the word old school. You know, as you age in the black community, you're going to get nicknames. And a black man that's a little older, he's going to be referred to as old school. What's up, old school? This current generation has shortened that now to just school. I embrace that. I embrace that I'm a school. You know, being from New Orleans, raised in Dallas, it's a lot of partners that I've had that didn't get to live to be this old. So I embrace my school. So when school was placed upon me, I decided, okay, well, what are we going to make school stand for? SKOOL, Schooling Kings Out of Love. And the reason those words resonate with me is because I feel like as an older black man in this community and in the circle in which I try and enlighten, my responsibility is to pass on the knowledge, the game, and the ideas that I have to somebody that's younger than me. That's my responsibility. So that's how I school these young kings. And it truly is out of love. And this gang that we've assembled, we're just going to be in here. We're going to chew the fat. We're going to tell stories, tell tales, dig into, the psyche of each one of us. Because what I've recognized about this cast is we all have our own journeys in life that we've embarked upon, trails that we've blazed, and some that we've followed. But one thing about it is life deals you the hand that you're dealt. It's really about how do you play that hand. So that's how we wound up here today. And hopefully going forward, you'll be tuning in to see the different stories and tales from the different guests and from the cast members that we've assembled. Mr. Mitchell, man.
What's cracking? What's cracking, my brother?
I just have to say once again, man, we're so honored that you're here because I've followed your career from, I think the first thing I may have seen you in was, don't quote me wrong, which came first, The Shy or Straight Outta Compton?
Oh, Compton. Compton was my big break.
Okay, Compton was the big break.
Compton was my big break.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. How did that even come about? Because, I'm an older man, so Eazy-E was somebody. When I'm in high school, Boys in the Hood is ringing through the hallways, in the cars.
Right.
So when you played that character, you played somebody iconic to me.
Yeah.
We didn't know much about West Coast existence, the gang banging, the 6'4". So when he starts talking about the cruising down the street in my 6'4", he resonated here.
Yeah.
And you played that dude.
Yeah.
How did that even come about?
Well, actually, Straight Outta Compton was my 5th movie.
Oh.
Right? But the first 4, I had a few lines here, a few lines there. One of them I had what they call a supporting role, so I had more to do, but there was no other actors around me that I knew. You know what I'm saying? All I knew was rappers. I come up under Lil Wayne and, No Limit. So I'm looking like, I think in my heart I felt like I just wasn't doing enough. You know what I mean? I was always like, I want more. So I did 2 movies with Mark Wahlberg. I did Contraband and Broken City. Right? So after I did them films, Mark was telling me, he was like, bro, you could go far, like, if you stay out of the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Because I was in the streets, like, for real, like, outside. Some of these niggas' rap life was my real life, Right. So, Quiet as Kept, I think it might have been a little bit of the reason why I got on the radar for Universal to end up doing the audition. But they told me to come to L.A., and I was like, well, the way my life's set up right now. You know what I mean? I got things going on that I need to, you feel me? Right. So I was like, maybe I could send you a tape. So I sent in a tape. And I remember when I did my tape, I read with a lady named Megan Lewis, who is, every bit of Boston. I don't know if you ever met white folks from Boston, but they be serious face, you know what I mean? And like, she don't take no shit. So I probably read for her, no lie, close to 25 times and never booked nothing. You know what I mean? So I went and read what I was like, Megan, I need help with this tape, blah, 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 blah. So I come in there, a wig, full Easy E down. And she was like, that's cute, you know. I'm gonna take a picture of you and let you know, that like, let everybody know that you did this. But you can't audition with that on. So I'm like, all right. So we did like 5 scenes, I remember, and I had one of the scenes was the hospital scene, right? So I'm in there crying and shit. And I look up at her, she crying and shit. So I'm like, in my stomach, I'm tickled, you feel me? I'm like, damn. So as soon as I got up, she double high-fived me, walked me to my car and shit. I'm like, this is not the Megan Lewis that I know. You know what I mean? You was never like this before. So she's like, nah, I think you got a great chance in getting it, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know, like, so much time went past. It had to be more than 30 days. I had completely forgot about it. Like, they probably got somebody else, whatever. So then one day they called me. I'm working on the line as a cook. They want you to come to L.A. tomorrow. Tomorrow. The way my wife said it, you hear me? Like, no, I can't do it. Not tomorrow. Like, do they still have the chance to say no? Or like, how does it work? And it was like, well, this is a callback, so you still gonna have to audition some more. And I'm like, I can't do it. You feel me? So they called me back. They was like, listen, the director, F. Gary Gray, wants to Skype with you. This was before Zoom and all of that shit. He was like, he want to Skype with you. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go back to Megan, like, listen, I need the internet to be flawless. You feel me? Like, we need to figure this out. So she was like, all right. So I went there, went to her office, same shit. Well, I ain't even going to pretend like I didn't know how long it was. It was an hour and 17 minutes. We was on this Skype, right? So I could just see his head, and we doing the scenes. And it was I just remember it being like one of the most intense moments of my life. My heart just beating, you feel me? So we get to the end again, the tears coming down. And I can feel them butterflies leaving my stomach again, you see what I'm saying? And he like, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. So I just bust out laughing, like, fuck it, I done made it through it now, you know what I mean? Like, whatever's gonna happen, gonna happen. So then a bunch of voices started laughing, you know what I mean? And he looking both ways, like, I'm like, still to this day, I don't know who was in that room, but like, I booked that shit over Skype, bro. Like, yeah.
Hey,
so,
man, that's a heck of a story. That's a heck
God
of
really
a story.
had that one for me, for sure.
Wow. So when y'all got through off that Skype, they were like, okay, you got it, or did they call you back?
Hell no. No, they never told me these words at all. Like, oh, you got it. Never, you know what I mean? So they was like, yeah, Jason, we're going to fly you out to L.A., blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, cool. So they sit me down with this dude, Aaron Spicer. Now, Aaron Spicer is like, I guess for lack of a better expression, he's a famous acting coach. You know, he done coach Will, all his kids, like any real big actors, especially that done TV and shit. Aaron Spicer has been a part of that, right?
Right.
So he like, man, you're going to do a lot of auditions today. You're going to meet a lot of Ice Cubes, a lot of Dr. Dre's, So let's just go through the lines. Let's see if you got it. So we going through the lines. And he was like, yeah, man, you got this shit. Cool ass white dude, you got this shit. So I was like, all right, I still don't know what the fuck is going on at all, right? So days and days and days of a bunch of different Dr. Dre's, a bunch of different Ice Cubes, a bunch of different DJ Yellas. We just going through this shit. A bunch of MC Rands, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck. So one of my friends, her name Mercedes Lindsay, shout out to Mercedes, she pulled me to the side and was like, nigga, when you gonna stop being nervous? I was like, cause I just wanna know who else is like, auditioning for Eazy-E. She was like, you're the only Eazy-E here. Use your brain, sir. I was like, oh damn. So it wasn't until then that I really
That it clicked.
I was like, damn, I'm auditioning other people now. Like, So we was doing actually what they call chemistry reads, but they never ever told me that I had got the role. I never heard them words.
That's
They wanted me to work.
that is dope, man. Yeah. That is dope, man. And the work stood out for itself, man. You sold the Eazy-E, for those that may not have lived through that time period or whatever, you sold that thing, man. Stuff we didn't know, the inner workings of the whole Ruthless thing, what I know of it, you showed it to me.
I heard that. Now, I appreciate that. Because, man, when I first met Snoop, right, he walked up to, a group of big ass bodyguards walk up to me, and I should have knew it was Snoop because they had like a little cloud on top of them, right? But they walking up to me, and then they peel open, and it's Snoop. He got tears in his eyes, right? Now, mind you, this is the biggest work day of my life. I thought it was gonna be different. I thought it was gonna be like a big party, you know what I mean? After the premiere and shit, I'm like, yeah, everybody happy. I'm shaking hands like a motherfucker, right? So Snoop, he like, listen, hey, you smoke? I was like, yes, thank you, sir. Yeah. So I'm smoking. He like, listen, I just wanted to tell you, you know, cause being from Long Beach, being a Crip, being a part of Death Row, all of that, like I never understood what Eazy-E done for my career. And I'd have never known, like, if you didn't tell me up on that screen. And I was just like, damn, nigga. Then I was in tears. I'm like, what the fuck? But he played such a pivotal part in just black culture in general. You know what I mean? Us being able to get up there and pop our shit for real, like on a whole different wave. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely,
it was,
man.
yeah, he did a lot for a lot.
You wasn't hearing no bunch of cussing on records.
Yeah.
Unless you listened to either Luke Skywalker
Right.
or Eazy-E and
Right.
NWA. That was
Right.
that, at that point in time in life. That's the way music was played. You know, you didn't guys that was rapping. You know, you had the East Coast MCs. You really didn't. You never really heard them do that.
Right.
Eazy and them was the first cats that you heard that consistently was talking that talk on record.
Yeah.
And they bust down doors over there, man. And they, like I said, they played. And my soundtrack to my life is NWA on there.
I love that.
In my soundtrack to my life. What about you, Trav? You down there in Baton Rouge? How did that affect you?
Yeah, man, no, that was when that whole NWA, you know, that whole vibe straight, you know, came through. Cause like you said, East Coast, they was on a whole different tip. They was all on the knowledge and the,
Right.
you know, like I was a big, you know, po-righteous teachers and all them guys back in the day.
Right.
But then when that gangster rap wave came through, it was like, hold up. What? These cars bouncing? What the?
Right.
What is that?
Right.
Right. And then I ended up meeting a cat in high school that was from he was from LA. He grew up rolling 60s.
Yeah.
And that was my first real contact with, oh, that's real. That's them stories they be rapping about really happen to people. Because he was the real life example of it. Right. Just like how you was on the screen where you bodied that role, bro. Yeah. Like for real, I was like, for a couple of minutes, I was like, wait, that ain't easy.
You should be surprised how many niggas banged on me after that. Nigga, where you from? Nigga, I'm like, New Orleans. They like, nah, nigga, you Easy son, right? No, nigga, that nigga got enough kids. Believe me, like, nah. Yeah, that shit funny.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, that's what you call embodying a character.
And what you just said, you know, I remember watching something on the internet where Eazy's son was kind of upset at first that he didn't get the role. Yeah. I can't imagine him doing it better than what you did. I'm not knocking him, but I don't think he could have done and embodied that the way you did it, because I look at it like you were able to come from an unbiased aspect and just, I'm going to jump into the character. He would have brought, that's my dad. Right. I've been this. Right. I know what that is. Right. He would have flavored it that. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't have been good. I just don't think he would have done it in the manner in which you did it.
You know what's so interesting about that, right? Is because, like everybody else, I see this shit on the internet, and I'm really trying to leave the gangster Jason at home. Right. Because I'm like, this ain't what I signed up for. Like, acting is changing my life at this point. I've never been to California in my life. So first I call up a couple of my partners, say, look, if we got to go out there, because we out there. All right, cool. So I'm getting on Facebook, finding everybody I could find. So I finally get in touch with dude, right? I got in touch with him and his sister Erica. So me and him had a 3-hour conversation. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, let me know. If it's going to be Halloween for me as soon as the wheels touch, you know, the tarmac, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know what's going on. And he was like, you know, he ended up being one of my biggest advocates. Like, I talked to that dude. We just spoke last week. I talk to this dude all the time now. But his thing was, if somebody gonna fuck it up, it should be him. Right. And rightly so. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, if you fuck it up, you might as well just move to another country. You see what I'm saying? This ain't one of them things. This was one of them things that was really, really for us. So, like, I understood where he was coming from, but I also, like, was super privileged to have him have the welcome wagon waiting on me once I did land. You know what I'm saying? He took me everywhere, like really showed me about Kelly Pop, really took me to Grandma crib, like, you know what I mean? He really showed a lot of love to me, and I'm forever thankful for that dude. But he a real nigga though. Like if it would have been anybody else, like, you know, and it's no shade to, like, you know, these British actors and shit like that, but they would have never let it happen. They would have never let it happen. It would have been Halloween for that person every day. They were so happy to hear I came from New Orleans. They're like, oh, this nigga might be a real nigga. They had me on speakerphone and shit. Like, yeah, they was serious about it though. They were serious about it.
That's dope. You know, I also, you know, when I watched what happens in the entertainment industry, and as actors move on in time, and as you age in this business, I look at it like you won like to me, you won like a Heisman Trophy, because when you do a biopic and you play an actual person,
yeah,
that to me that lasts longer than a lot of the characters you might play. You play the actual person that actually made an impact. Yeah, to do a biopic on somebody, that person had to make a stamp in the world, and for you to embody that. When you see when I see Denzel, I still think of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
When I see Jamie Foxx, I absolutely think of Ray.
I studied him. I studied Jamie Foxx for Eazy-E.
I think he's one of the most talented people that God ever put on earth.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
When you did what you did, I don't know if you looked at it like that, but I think you took one of the big things that I think an actor would want to achieve. I played that guy. Like, they got this Bob Marley film coming out. Yeah. Whoever plays Bob Marley, and I don't even know who it is, whatever he does going forward, he's gonna be Bob Marley. You Eazy-E, dog. You got that. You did that.
I appreciate that.
You did that.
Jason, let me ask you a question, if I may.
Please.
Sure.
You know, Jason, recently we were dealing with, you know, because I work in the area of AI. I don't tell a lot of people that, because they're going to say, you blind, what the fuck are you going to do with AI? Right? But
that was about to be my next question.
Yeah, I had to lose my sight to get my vision, right? And over this recent summer, I kept saying, okay, SAG has won an opportunity now. But Jason, can you tell me what exactly, and basically, how do you feel about AI being deployed in every facet of our lives? Because you know what? I'm from New Orleans and you're from New Orleans. AI can't be trained to do what we do. But for the rest of them, how do you feel as an artist? I mean, what are the things that keep you up at night?
I think the things that keep me up at night is me one day not reading the fine print, and my daughters, Royce and Rajay, end up in a situation where they're seeing their father on TV who is no longer alive, and that shit does nothing for my empire, what I've built. And that's what they want to turn this shit into. You know what I mean? They want to use your name, your likeness, your face, your body, your capability, your voice, everything. Yeah, exactly. He done fucked around and got shot and died. He went to jail, whatever. Fuck him. Tell him not to come back. You know what I'm saying? They gonna write your ass off, and you still gonna be in the movie doing everything you never saw yourself doing. Nah, but I think from a viewer's point of view, I think the viewers got it best. Like, actually, because when you think of what AI is capable of, right? When, like, all right, I'll give you a prime example. The movie Gladiator.
Yes.
Right? You remember when the movie first started, when they had all of these people out there, you didn't see it. Fuck. I'm so sorry, bro. Damn. Okay. Let me set the scene for you. Let me set the scene. That was my bad. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, just right. Fuck. Right. I'm sorry. All right. So the way the movie starts off is basically they have an army of men waiting on this other barbaric army to come out of the trees and shit. You see what I'm saying? So they all standing there, they just waiting, like, you know, on the front line. But they got, I think that day they had like 550 something extras, right? So now they got to dress these people in this old school armor. They got dogs and shit that had on armor, horses that got on armor. And, you know, by us not being back in them times, they got to spend money on making that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's all practical. You feel what I'm saying? But now with AI, like I'll give you an example. Straight out of Compton, right? We did the concert scenes. We had like 4,700 extras. They was just taking them and putting them in different places and putting them in different orders and shit like that and putting them all over the arena. So even if you zoomed in super close, nobody would be in the same spot, but it was the same group of people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So instead of having 30,000 motherfuckers you got to control, you got this 4,700 motherfuckers you got to control. You know what I mean? And it just worked better. So I think for the viewers, when it comes to the AI shit, they about to start getting a better experience than everybody else out here in the world, because you could literally create anything.
I don't like that.
I worry about things like that because, you know what? Let me explain something to you, man. Not only have I listened to your films, of course, I can't see you do all the magic shit on the screen, but I've listened to your films. I've listened to you over and over again, and not only do I find you to be a profound actor, but you have defied all of what the norms. The norms say you got to go to Juilliard, okay, and you got to do X, Y, Z. But in observing and just from an auditory standpoint, listen to you, I'm saying to myself, this guy really embodies what it means to come from nothing to something, to become the unusual suspect. So my question for you is, for you specifically, how has that improved your ability as an actor to be able to transcend and say, okay, I know what it's like to live in the hood, but now I got to move on and find out and demonstrate to the rest of the world what it's like when we transcend from the hood to Hollywood. How do you feel about that?
I think more times than I can remember, I ask myself, like, why me? You know what I mean? And not like, oh no, going through some good shit. I'm talking about when the lights off in your fucking house and you scuffling that bitch to try to find some candles, and you know what I mean? Like when you gotta push the furniture in front of the door because the lock iffy and you in that bitch by yourself and your mama working overnight. Why me? Why am I going through this shit? You see what I'm saying? And then you end up in a Hollywood situation where you one of the most emotionally available people that you ever met in your life. Because we ain't have time to cry about that shit when we was going through that shit. You see what I'm saying? We ain't had time to go through all of that. There wasn't no time to think about it. We had to just keep pushing. You see what I'm saying? And it was the normal for us. Like I didn't know until I left New Orleans that it wasn't normal for motherfuckers to be carrying guns to high school, and that shit was normal to me. A lot of these things was normal. I didn't realize that I had PTSD until 30 years old. You see what I'm saying? So I think, all of those times where I was like, why me? Why am I going through this? What am I supposed to be getting out of this? All these different things I asked myself, when God finally revealed it to me, like, nigga, this is your gift. And these are all the real life things that you've been through. I've had actors who've been to Juilliard Jason, where do you find the pain? Nigga. Are you kidding me?
Get you one out this bag. Get you one out this bag.
I got a few of them wrote down. Nigga. What do you mean? And it's a whole different experience that we having from Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And it's a trip because even when I went to California for the first time, when I went down there to the 60s, you know what I mean? And when you meet these different people who really cripping and really doing different things, like them niggas, they ain't never been to Hollywood. And it's down the street. It's a trip. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, wow. So I realized that, like, I had to mold myself the best I could, and so many times I look at people like Rich Paul and be like, when is a nigga like this gonna come to the Hollywood world? You know what I'm saying? Because, when you're an athlete, they could see 7th grade, right? He got potential. Yeah. You know what I mean? With acting, nigga, my mama didn't even believe I was doing this shit for real until Straight Outta Compton was a thing. You know what I mean? Like, nigga don't believe you until this shit happened. Yeah, sure. You're an actor.
But with that being said, though, what inspired you to start acting? I know you said you had a lot of other shit going on, but what made you like recenter your focus and say, you know what, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna act over all the other things you could have chosen.
Yeah, I think. Well, first I was trying to find new friends, right? those who are familiar with New Orleans are familiar with the Bird Gang, are familiar with the whole uptown madness. And I lost a couple friends to it, and then when you police, you like, okay, you know. And then my sister always used to be on my ass. It's the niggas you hanging with, and you know, and she was right. You know what I mean? Like I went to my mama one time, like, man, these fucking police, when they gonna leave me alone? She said, when they gonna be wrong? And I was like, damn.
Ooh, that was real
I
right
was
there.
like, damn. Right? So I heard about this acting class on the radio one day. One of my partners, we had the conversation. That nigga like, nigga, you need to do that. Like, this shit could really be you. You know what I mean? Like, you be having the jokes. You just a laughing ass nigga. You feel me? You should try this. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went down there with a fucking 3-piece suit on. You know, I'm trying to hide all the tattoos and act like a scholar in that bitch. And she was like, listen, you're horrible. But if you stick with this, you got something natural that could be great, right? So I'm like, all right. So they had an agent come look at us and shit, right? And they was like, you got to have a monologue. So I'm like, monologue? What the fuck? So I'm looking on the internet trying to find shit, you know, all of this fucking Romeo and Juliet and you know what I mean? All of this bullshit. I'm like, nigga, I can't see myself doing this shit, right? So the day finally comes and my heart beating because I don't know what to do, but I'm like, I'm not about to miss my opportunity. So, T.I., I stole your shit, brother. I'm sorry. But you're the reason I really got an agent. The story's coming out right now. I've never told this story before, but he has a song called I Still Ain't Forgave Myself. On his first album, I'm Serious.
Right.
So I took the rhyming words out of it, took the hook out of it, and used it as my monologue because it was my life, and I believed it.
Ooh.
I believed it. You know what I mean? And my sister, that was the first time my sister had ever came to like an acting class or whatever, just to check out what I was doing, just to see what I was on. Because my sister was more like my mama than my mama. You feel me? So my sister sitting there, and like I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in it. By the time I almost got to the end, tears just flowing down her face. And that's when I knew. I said, I might be good at this. You know what I mean? And like have the potential to be great at this. Cause Snoop said some shit one time that fucked me up. He was like, I don't know why people doing shit that they good at. You need to do some shit that you great at. So I was like, all right, if I start off good one day, I could be great. So
did you really see yourself making it this big though? Like,
not at all. Well, maybe, but not so fast. You know what I mean? Like I remember saying to myself, like, well, I guess I gotta reevaluate what the goal's gonna look like, nigga. Cause I never thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Universal, F. Gary Gray, nigga.
Right, yeah, I
Bro,
done shot way
dog
past
ain't
the mark.
never missed. You see them? I know all the words to Friday, and now this nigga is telling me, man, come on. I mean, it blew my mind. But again, it was one of them situations where I ain't have time to think about it and pat myself on the back and all of that. Like I had to get in my stance. Like, let's get it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Let me ask you this. You said something at the beginning of it. You had to find you some new friends.
Yeah.
How did your partners respond to it when you decided to make that move and head in that direction? Because I understand the pull of the streets and the allegiance to the partners is strong.
Right. Man, listen. I remember I went and did a photo shoot with this guy named Jamil Jones so I could have like headshots and shit, right? Because you got to have a headshot and a resume in order to, you know, go audition, right? So I come out there and I'm showing niggas the pictures. They like, boy, if you look at your stupid ass, what the fuck? What you think you sexy? You about to drop an R&B album? I'm talking about, nigga tore my ass up. I'm roasted ain't the word. I'm talking about, nigga tore my ass up, brother. That shit, it was like, now that I think about it, it's funny, but like, at the time, I had to laugh off the pain. Like,
Right, yeah, I don't want them to see me know I'm embarrassed by them saying that, but...
Right. But like, when I'm telling you 0 people believe in me at first, maybe my sister a little bit, because she got to take a little peek in. But my mama, on down, partners, everybody was like, nigga, get out of here. You know what I mean? Because everybody thought I was gonna rap. I used to battle rap and shit when I was in high school. They'd be coming get me out of class and shit. Tell that bitch A1, come out, shit, man, they won't rap. I used to be that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everybody thought I was gonna make music, but it just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? And then I did do like a couple of songs, and then like my partner started getting killed. You know, I was like, fuck this shit. Like, we either be dead or in jail, fucking with rap. And you can see it still to this day. Like, that's how it is. Niggas is going to jail. They hitting your ass with the RICO.
So my question for you, when you did play the Easy how much of acting did you actually have to act?
Okay.
You know, with being from the hood, being from the streets.
You know what's interesting is like, I didn't understand gang culture at first. See what I'm saying? Because on TV, all they show you was colors, colors, colors. None of it is about money. None of it is about organization. None of that shit. It's like, nigga, where you from? And they blasting shit. And it's really like that. Yeah. So at first, I just didn't get it. You know what I mean? I was like, man, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand. So Universal didn't want to take me to the hood at all. They felt like me doing that sort of research was pointless. Yeah. It's like, nigga, y'all don't understand. Like, y'all don't understand. You feel me? Like, no, I need to go. Right? So, like I said, Lil Easy did what he could. You know, they had another guy who was working with the production who was like, man, I'll take you down there. You can't tell nobody, but I'll take you down there, you know. So they took me on a couple of little excursions and shit, but I remember seeing Pyru Street for the first time. I hopped out. And I was like, no, get back in the car. I'm like, nigga, there's nobody outside. They like, bro, you don't understand. If 3 of us jump out this car and the police see us, they could now pat us down. We now, because 3 people standing alone is a gang. That's how they got the laws designed out there. It's fucked up. 2 or more is a gang, you know what I mean? And they could literally pull up, pat you down like you on probation. What you doing? Yeah, it's probable cause after it's 3 people together, which was fucking incredible to me. So once I got that little bit of information, I was like, damn, I need to go all the way into this. And it's like a lot of people, they love it so much because they see the way he move, all this shit, you know, the way he stand, all of that. It was a way that what they call flagging. You see what I'm saying? You can't just wear the blue rag. You can't just wear the dicky fit and all that because you're going to go your ass to jail. So they had different ways that they would flag on people from the way they stand and the way they move and all of that shit. It was all a thing. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't so much the street mentality, but it was more of the uniform that I had to learn. You know, I had to learn how to talk from like a nigga from Cali. You feel me? A real Kelly Park Crip. You feel me? I had to learn all that shit. You know what I mean?
That's kind of what I was interested in. Is how does that transformation take place? Because I done seen like, you know, several things you've done. I've seen, and I'm addiction catches me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I catch that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, that's a crazy accent. I was just watching something this morning. I was like, that girl from Canada.
Right.
I heard her say a boat. And I was like, oh yeah, she from Canada. So like, how does that transformation take place though?
Man, for me, dog, I think it just starts off with the fascination because I'm a real respectful actor. You see what I'm saying? Like, nothing pissed me off more when they did this movie Cutthroat City and they put T.I. in.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, nigga, everything about Atlanta is rival for New Orleans. You see, why would you put an Atlanta nigga in our movie? What the fuck just happened? You know what I mean? Like a lot, you know, it takes a lot that goes into this, you know? And it's like, for me, like,
was that the film where he had the vitiligo?
Yes, like, nigga, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening, my nigga? Ain't one person in New Orleans with vitiligo. Come on, son. You know what I mean? But it really fucking pissed me off. Like, it really did. Like, my next real move is to fucking go across the pond, do an English film, with an English accent.
Like
they come over here and you get me?
Yeah, like dancing came over here. And
Exactly. They'll think a man is a real road man. You get me? But that's just what I'm into. Like, I lock in out of respect for what I'm trying to represent. You see what I'm saying? And it's not some shit that can happen overnight. Like let's be honest, bro. Like, most of the gangster movies we grew up on, Boys in the Hood, you know, Minister Society, all of that shit was West Coast shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it was little peaks that I had into it, but once I got out there and met niggas like Nipsey, and I was like, nigga, I was mocking them niggas all day. They was probably like, this nigga get on my nerves. He keep talking like us. But I know once they seen that screen, they was like, yeah, he turned up.
I feel like what God has, no man can take from you, right? Yeah. We just can't allow ourselves to bury our talent. So, Jason, you know, like you say, I didn't come from Juilliard and all these other places, but Jason, you've done very, very well. Let me ask you a question. For actors or individuals who not just want to transcend the acting, but be all they can be, what exactly would your advice be? You come from the unconventional, okay? You come from, but you've become now, you're the unusual suspect who's become the prime in terms of what we're looking for. What exactly, Jason, would you tell me? What exactly would you tell us? Because we're looking at you. Those who can see and those who can't.
First, I think it starts off with the misconception, right? Like we was talking about before the camera came on, that information is key, right? So the acting coach wants you to find the agent. The agent wants you to find the casting director. The casting director wants you to find the director, and the director wants to make an awesome film for the world to be able to see. But too many times people look around at the competition and they're like, oh, well, why me? Nigga, why not you? You done been through all of what you've been through. Who the fuck else got your personality? Who else is you? And a lot of people, a lot of directors, a lot of writers, they don't know what they want until they see it. You know what I mean? You think in the Friday script they had in around here between Northern and Western, you think they really had that in the script? Hell no.
That was Chris Tucker.
That was Chris Tucker. You know what I mean? But he took it from one level to the next. You know what I mean? I remember that part everybody loved in Compton, let's go get this money, right? We was doing the scene and we have what you call eat takes, right? So you could do it what they call on book, the way it is on script first.
Right.
And then after we get that, then you can move on and do whatever you want to do, right? So I remember Gary looking at me, he was like, nigga, you ready to eat? I was like, yeah, I'm ready. You hear me? So I did it and I was like, let's go get this fucking money. And then everything stops. Somebody was like, whoa, wait. Jason, can you do that one more time without the cuss words? This is going to be great for the trailer. Okay, let's do it one more time. Let's go back to one, everybody. I was like, what the fuck? And in my mind, I'm thinking, nigga, the shit that I thought in my mind is about to be in the trailer? What is you saying to me right now? You know what I mean? Like, and that's the things that I think, the confidence that's already in you. You know what I mean? That thing that you know you got inside of you already that you want to show to the world. Sometimes you just got to hold your nuts or your lips or whatever you got down there. You know what I mean? Like,
And this is a perfect segue for what I was talking to you about earlier.
Okay.
About the sex scenes.
Okay.
How do you really get into, is it an awkward situation or what? Because I don't see myself ever being able to tap into those characters. I was watching Insecure last night and I was like, bro, the dude was really like into it. How can you be ass naked? Just, oh my God, I don't.
All right. I'm gonna put you in my world.
Please,
all right, so it's
know.
interesting, right? So my first sex scene was on the shot. And clearly, me and my co-star have chemistry.
Okay.
It just is what it is. So I didn't know what the fuck to do, right? So I went to my big homie. He said, listen, just start by saying sorry.
Okay.
Because if you rock up vicious, I'm sorry. But if you don't rock up at all, I'm also sorry. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, how you going to feel as a woman with somebody
I couldn't even get him going.
You know? Right. But ultimately what they do is they give you what they call a cock sock. So it's like a fishing line with some shit to hold your dick and balls, and it's supposed to be like the same color as your skin. And then the females, they got like a little sticker that's supposed to cover up the holes, you know what I'm saying? But everything else is pretty much exposed, unless you got it in your contract where you don't like want your nipples to show or whatever kind of deal. But yeah, it gets there. It definitely gets there. Yeah.
It's not awkward when people are watching. It's.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're into.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If you're into voyeurism,
right.
I'm just,
Right.
Or do you have like a? Tell me about an experience that was just like, okay, this was crazy, like a memorable experience that you had on set in regards to like. Sex.
Like crazy in a bad way or crazy in a good way?
Both, actually.
I actually think that was the best sex scene I ever had, right?
Okay.
Right. But prior to it, because it got to the point where niggas was like, fuck it, whatever, just standing there like, fuck it, fuck the road, fuck everything, yeah, just like, fuck it, whatever. You know, in the director, it was her birthday, so nigga was like, fuck it, you know, birthday suit for the birthday girl, whatever. You know, and it was super cool, and she was definitely like super cool with us about it, because it's very technical, like, you know what I mean? It's all about placement and shit like that. So a lot of times you thinking you're gonna be like turned on, and it's not even that, right? But what was kind of crazy for me was, you know, I'm thinking the regular shit that everybody thinking about sex, right? If you about to have sex with somebody for the first time, you want to smell good. You want to make sure, you know, you took your good shit before you got in the shower. I need everything. Yeah, exactly. I need everything to be, I'm going to give me a couple of push-ups.
Absolutely.
So I get to
Nigga in the bathroom doing push-ups.
Right, so I get to the hair and makeup trailer, and they're like, did you shave? Let's take a look. So I'm like, okay, exactly, because this is about to be the first time that I pull my dick out in front of everybody. Yeah, in front of everybody. It's like, okay, boom. So they're like, you didn't shave? I was like, I guess I didn't think about that. It was like, so you're just gonna press up against somebody's body without shaving? I was like,
oh, man, I didn't know.
I guess I didn't think about it. You know what I mean? I've done it so many other times. I didn't think about it.
When I do it,
so she was like, nah, it's fine. I'm talking about got on our knees and was holding my shit like this, like it was nothing.
Right.
Like it was nothing. She was like, I've worked for Playboy. This is nothing. I'm like, okay. And I'm just standing there like, ma'am, what the fuck? Nah, but that was crazy to me. Like, I was like, oh my God, that shit was a trip. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, yeah, like Hollywood, they get in there when it's time to get in there. You know what I mean? Because
they looking at it like this just works.
Yeah, it just works. It's all about what the camera see. You know what I mean? So I was like, damn, that shit was crazy. But I also did this movie Tyrell, where I had to do like the shower scene or whatever, and like a guy busts in the room when I'm supposed to be taking a shower, and I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? You know, obviously. Now, what they don't tell you about movies is every time you see somebody taking a shower, unless the camera is far away or they want the steam, because the steam will fog up the lens.
Absolutely.
So the water is cold coming out. So it don't fog up the lens.
Oh, shit.
So now you got other issues.
Right, now you got shrinkage.
It's shrinkage. Now you like this. Shrinkage. You never been standing like this, because it's 12 other motherfuckers in there. Like, look at his. That shit is not what you said it was before. But on top of that, we in the Catskill Mountains, and it's snow every fucking where.
Oh, hell.
So it's cold on cold on shriv. Nigga like,
It was cold outside.
Yeah, it was cold that night, really? It was cold that night. Yeah, so that was probably the most fucked up situation. And then it was like mostly men, and it was like, this is some bullshit. I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I read the script thinking one thing, and then when it was in the moment, I never felt more uncomfortable in my life. But I mean, we got through it, you know what I mean? And after we got finished, everybody was like, great performance. I was like, nigga, stop.
Right, yeah. Hey, sir, really? I'm going to my trailer. Yeah. I'm going to my trailer.
Right.
I'm going to.
Tell you. Nah, but yeah, it was, the sex scene shit it's crazy. I mean, and it goes there. It goes both ways.
Man, I just wanted to, you touched on it with Maya. The Shy. Brandon was one of my favorite characters.
Thank you, bro.
And he was one of my favorite characters because he was just trying to make it.
Yeah.
He was trying to find him something that he could just hold on to and get himself going.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to find that one thing, and then when he found his, you know, had his food truck and everything, I was like, my nigga done finally got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rolling now.
Right.
I wanted to give you that because, like I said, The Shy was, to me, that was an excellent work of art because it encompassed so many different people and different perspectives that I could really relate to.
Yeah.
And then I have to say this on film. Mary J. Blige is one of my favorite people in this world. I ain't never met her.
Mine too.
But I've seen her in concert 15 different times, 2 times in 1 month. Man, Mudbound is a movie that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
But the acting the cinematography, just the way that movie looked and the way it played out, man, you did your thing.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you.
The perspective that you provided as a young man coming home from the war, trying to come help his mama and daddy in a time that didn't nobody really want to hear what you had to say. Excellent, brother.
Thank you.
Excellent.